CES is almost over, and that means there's only one thing left for us to do, and that is our annual Best of CES video. We've seen plenty of stuff like you'd expect at CES, from laptops and monitors and gaming things, and it is CES, so we've seen plenty of TVs, some EVs, and a whole lot of smart home appliances. To make sense of it all, we're going to bring in our staff, and they will tell you what their best picks for CES 2025 are.
I came to Las Vegas pretty certain that Samsung's The Frame Pro would be my favorite TV at the show. Better picture, same stylish design. It seemed like an immediate recipe for success. But it turns out Samsung kind of misled us about the whole mini LED part of the Frame Pro. So I've been looking around to see what really captures my heart here at the show, and I keep coming back to an old TV favorite, Panasonic. Panasonic came back to the US last year after a long break making TVs. And this year it's back with the Z95B OLED TV. Now picture-wise, it uses a 4-layer OLED structure. We're in a new brightness war era of the OLED TV market, and year after year they keep getting brighter and brighter and brighter, and this is another example of that. It is a stunning picture on the floor, and last year's model also got great reviews, so I'm confident that this improvement is going to be even better once it ships later on this year. Sound-wise, this TV does not care about being thin. It's got a sound bar built into the bottom, there are up-firing channels, there are side-firing channels. It's just a big, bulky OLED TV that focuses on sound and picture and just being a home theater centerpiece. Now, there is one downside. Just like last year, the Z95B runs Fire TV OS from Amazon. It is my least favorite of the major TV platforms, but on the other hand, I've gotten very tired of AI being shoved down our throats here at CES. I don't want a chatbot on my TV. I don't want Microsoft's Copilot on my TV. I just want simple software. And yes, Fire TV has ads. It's ugly. There are certainly downsides to it. Amazon, please just take a sledgehammer to this software and start all over someday. But as a TV, as a fixture of CES, the Z95B OLED, it's the winner.
So my best pick for wearable is the Rokit glasses. Smart glasses were everywhere on the floor at CES this year, and while the Rokit glasses aren't technically the most advanced, they do answer the question of what would it be like to have a pair of Ray-Ban Meta glasses that actually had a display in them. Not only do they have an AI assistant, there's a micro etch display in there that's totally discrete from the front, but you can see this green light display, stuff like that we saw on Halliday and even Realities, and you can have these apps like Live Translate, so you can have a conversation and see the translation, but no one else can. There's a teleprompter, so if you're giving a presentation, you can see things. You can take photo and video and actually frame up the shot and just go click. That's the problem with smart glasses. You kind of have to see it to get it and believe it. But of the ones I saw on the show floor, these were the coolest. My pick for best beauty tech is L'Oreal Cell Bioprint. It's this really awesome machine. Initially, it's intended for something like a dermatologist's office, but you go, you sit, you get samples from your skin. Those samples are then dissolved into a buffer that isolate proteins from your skin. That gets put onto a cartridge, that then gets put into a machine. You answer a few questions, beep, bop, boop, and then you get the results. And the results tell you, like, is your skin's biological age in line with your chronological age? You can see how you're doing on certain factors like wrinkles, pore size, skin barrier function, and then it could tell you what problems you might be predisposed to too. So the idea isn't so much to tell you what you should buy, but kind of clear up for you what you don't need. So instead of having a 10-step skincare routine that's going to break your wallet, you can be a lot more intentional based on what actually is your skin concern. Great for my wallet, but at the same time, now that I know I am responsive to retinol, I guess I have to go buy a retinol.
At CES 2025, Siemens is transforming industries by bringing the real and digital worlds together with groundbreaking technologies like industrial AI, digital twins, and software-defined automation. With thousands of AI patents and decades of innovation, Siemens leads in trustworthy, secure, and explainable AI that enhances human capabilities. The industrial metaverse allows real-time collaboration, testing solutions virtually, and deploying them seamlessly. At Siemens, technology isn't just imagined, it's built to help solve real problems. Before we jump back to seeing the best technologies of CES, a quick note. Sponsorships don't influence our editorial content, but they do help make videos like this possible. Now, back to the team.
So for me, I think there's really only one choice for the best laptop of CES, and that's this guy right here, the Lenovo ThinkBook Plus Gen 6. It's a 14-inch laptop, but it's got a rollable display, so hit a button, and it grows to a 16.7-inch tall boy that I just think is really quirky, but really, really cool. Usually when I think of Lenovo, I think, a little, kind of boring business laptops, but this is a, I guess, business-focused laptop that has all the business. I mean, imagine you can go to the cafe and get some work done and then just say, hey, you know what, I want extra real estate on my screen. Maybe the software will be a little janky, we'll have to see. But this was a concept a couple of years ago, and now it's going to be something you can actually buy. It'll be $3,500, so it ain't going to be cheap, but this is a quirky, cool, and weird, and interesting design that we never thought would maybe come to market. But now it is. CES is known for showing out there products that are sometimes vaporware or it's just all hype, but this looks like future tech that will actually become the present when it launches this year.
So my pick for best car at CES in 2025 was the Honda Zero Saloon and Honda Zero SUV. Now sure, we saw these cars in concept form at last year's CES, and EV sales aren't, shall we say, doing so hot right now with very little relief on the horizon, but Honda really helped revitalize what was gearing up to be otherwise a very sleepy CES from an auto enthusiast point of view with the introduction of these two electric vehicles. Now you gotta hand it to the designers here at Honda, they didn't pull any punches. There's a hint of Lamborghini Countach, a dusting of Aston Martin's Lagonda shooting brake, and more than a hint of AMC Gremlin. In other words, enough 70s and 80s vibes to help offset some of the future shock from the minimalistic interior and all the marketing speak about software-defined vehicles. There's enough here that's weird and interesting and different that I'm sure some of it will survive through customer deliveries in 2026, if we actually end up getting there.
For my CES 2025 Best in Show, I have chosen one of the wildest and wackiest things I've seen in the smart home in a long time. And this is the K20 Plus Pro multitasking household robot that is currently delivering a dog to me for some reason. I've always thought I wanted a Rosie the robot, a humanoid that's going to do everything for me. But this is a modular robot, and the idea is you can put different devices on this platform, and the platform can roam around your house. It can deliver you an air purifier. It can monitor your home through the camera. One of the great features about being modular is that they can develop more products for this and increase its capabilities. One thing they've teased is bringing a robot arm, which could be really helpful around the house. Plus, what's really fun for smart home geeks, the robot attaches to the Fusion platform with a claw docking system. This also is a data communication channel, so you can use it to stream video, has power, anything you can plug into it. It gives you flexibility to do whatever you want with a multifunctional robot in your home. What I like about this is it's modular, it's innovative, and it's practical. So those are my reasons. It's my pick for CES 2025.
So my pick for the best of CES 2025 is the phone toaster. And let me explain, it's not a toaster, it's a charging system for your phone. It's a phone case that has a battery in it, and it gives your phone a little extra boost, so kind of familiar. But when the battery's low, you just plop it into the phone toaster, it puts in a new battery, and you take it out and you're on your way. It charges the old batteries, so it's getting ready for the next time you need it. And it's compatible with basically any phone that they make a case for. Since the batteries are all the same, it just kind of slots in and it works. So it sort of makes sense for like a household of people. Maybe if you have teenage kids who don't remember to charge their phone and then it's your problem that they didn't charge their phone, I can see a case for it then. The thing about the phone toaster is that it's going to cost $450 and the cases are $120. So this is definitely like a luxury if you want to escape the mundane life of charging your phone with wires. this is something you could purchase. They've designed it in a way that kind of allots for phones to get bigger, which they probably will. And I actually really appreciate it. I think it's a cool idea, it's different, it's unique, and it's so CES.
The Lenovo Legion Go S is the best handheld at CES 2025 because of what's inside and what's on the outside too. It's got a 120 Hz variable refresh rate screen, one of the first handhelds to do that after the Asus ROG Ally, and it's got SteamOS inside. It's the first authorized third-party handheld that Valve has worked with the manufacturer to create since the Steam Deck itself. And in May, you'll be able to get one with SteamOS for $499, one of the lowest prices we've seen in the handheld world as well. It's more comfortable than the original Legion Go, it looks better, it does ditch the detachable controllers, but it's a small price to pay for what looks like a great handheld. My only big question is battery life. This handheld's designed to run at about 20 watts with a 55 watt-hour battery, only slightly bigger than the original Legion Go, while some competitors have huge 70 or 80 watt-hour batteries now.
Next-gen GPUs are finally here for your fancy PC gaming rig, and Nvidia really stole the gaming side of CES this year with the RTX 50 series. The flagship RTX 5090 will debut on January 30th, priced at $1,999. Now that's a lot of money for a GPU, and it's even $400 more than the RTX 4090. But for those $2,000 you're getting a 2-slot card with 32 gigs of GDDR7 memory and promises from Nvidia that it can double the frame rates in games like Cyberpunk 2077. Those doubling of frame rates might be largely down to DLSS 4 though, thanks to its new multi-frame generation that uses AI models to generate frames and smooth out games. DLSS 4 will also be available on the RTX 5080 and the RTX 5070 Ti. Or Ti, I don't know, and neither does Nvidia apparently.
The GeForce RTX 3080 Ti, 2080 Ti, the GeForce GTX 1080 Ti.
The RTX 5070 will also have DLSS 4, and Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang even boldly claimed that it will deliver RTX 4090 performance for $549. Now that sounds impressive, but I think the reality is you're only going to see RTX 5070 deliver the RTX 4090 performance in games that support DLSS 4, thanks to those extra frames that it's generating. Either way, some of the demos of the RTX 50 series look super promising, with Nvidia using new RTX neural faces and neural materials to add even more AI-powered elements to PC games. I think it's fair to say that the RTX 50 series is heavily focused on AI-powered features this time around.
And finally, my pick for Best of CES 2025, and that's going to be LG Stand By Me 2. And I'm going to call that the best sequel of the year. When the first one came out, it was a little bit pricey. It was $1,000 and it was sort of limited and not the greatest TV or monitor, but things are improving. So this year it is 1440p instead of 1080p. The battery life is better by half an hour, so you get a total of 4 hours of battery time. But the biggest difference is that it's actually detachable, so you can just put it places, and they're releasing a bunch of accessories for it. So there's the shoulder strap if you want to carry it around your shoulder, but realistically what you're going to do with it, you're probably going to hang it on a wall and display it that way, and it looks really nice. From there you can leave notes, draw something, put some photos up. It's really cool. The second accessory is the folio, so it looks like a massive iPad, and there's also a stand for vertical or landscape orientation. There's a bunch more, so that's really cool. They're also adding 2 USB-C ports, so on one you can add accessories, on the other one you can put a webcam if you want to take video calls on it, and there is an HDMI port as well. The only thing I don't like about it is that it is expensive, so I'm not entirely sure what to expect when it comes to price. The first one, as I said, was already expensive. And that brings us to the end of Best of CES 2025. Thank you for watching, thank you for being with us, reading all of our stuff on the website. There was a lot, watching all the videos that we published throughout the week. We'll also have one more video. I think we're gonna have one more video. We tried something different last night, and I think it's gonna be fun, but it's gonna take a lot of editing. So yeah, stay tuned for that. See you all soon.
CES over.